No religion in the schools!
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 In the schools! In the schools!
No religion
In the schools!
No religion in the school! Brampton Mayor!
Shame on you!
Brampton Mayor!
Shame on you!
Brampton Mayor!
Shame on you!
No religion
In the schools!
No religion
In the schools!
No religion
In the schools!
Brampton Mayor!
Shame on you!
Brampton Mayor!
Shame on you! In the schools! In the schools! In the schools!
Suffragette Lynn here at the Brampton rally for Peel Region Prayer in Schools, which we don't want. So there's Lynn's shirt.
That's the Suffragettes Against Silence.
Suffragettes Against Silence.
Yes.
And on the back it says something, does it?
Not this one. We have another shirt, but we have another style. This is our logo there.
Right,
We've
nice.
got our website, Suffragettes Against Silence, because women have an especially victimized state. Our rights and freedoms, we've always got to protect them, especially girls and children. So here's the other shirt. Let me just show you. These will be available on our website. True North, Strong and Free. Freedom is my nationality, with the eagle rising. And on the back it says standing on guard for these. So yeah, standing on guard for these. So we want to get the Patriot discussions going in public, and these will be a jump-off point. So I hope everybody starts to wear those. We've got some other ones here, lest we forget. Strong and Free.
And Lynn, which website are you?
Suffragettes Against Silence. Sandra Solomon is our affiliate, and she's promoting us as well, because all women are naturally suffragettes, and we have to maintain our equality under the law, right? So we've got
Absolutely.
a rally song. We even have this cute little just tuxedo one, and it says suffragette on it. So we have suffragettes, and but yeah, we've been at this for over a year now. We launched in relation to Wear a Hijab Day. Which we see as our rally was hats, not hijabs, and we have like I said, our rally song, and we do flash rallies, and we stand up for women's rights, Canadian rights and values, freedoms, and just being sensible about things, that we can't have one religion taking over Canada, right?
Yeah.
And it's growing. Everywhere.
Common sense. Common sense.
Groups. What does it stand for? Anybody guess? Keeping religion out of our public schools. That's correct. We support rallies, but our plan is slightly different. We, yesterday, in a meeting, formed our board of directors. We will be founding a grassroots, not-for-profit federal incorporation. It will be of a political nature, grassroots organization, and the theme of this banner is First Canadian. We are all first Canadians.
Yes! Yes! We are Canadians! Canada first!
If we have come to this country, we have to leave our baggages behind.
Yes!
Our first religion is Canadian.
Yes!
So
Home and native land, true patriot, in all our sons' commands. With glowing hearts we see the earth, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Freedom is our nationality.
That's right.
True north, strong and free.
So our
Let him continue speaking. Thank you very much.
our plan is to form this legal entity. What do we do with this legal entity?
Louder.
First thing we'll do is take the PDSB to court.
Yes.
On what belief? PDSB has allowed prayers saying that they are mandated by law. They say that they have to do so under the Human Rights Code. You know what? The term religious accommodation does not occur anywhere in the Human Rights Code. The Human Rights Code is in black and white, and it's in the Ontario e-laws website. Go home and read it. The term religious occurs only 6 times in the code. The first time it occurs in the index. The next 4 times it occurs in the context of solemnization of marriage. And the last time it occurs in the code is special employment in special interest organizations. That's about it. The Human Rights Code is essentially a statute of law made in support of the Canadian Charter of Freedom and Rights. What does it say? It says services should be provided without discrimination. It stops right there. As long as PDSB has provided education to our children without discrimination based on caste, creed, origin, PDSB has discharged its duty under the law. There is no need for them to provide any further special arrangement. It is on this basis that we will take PDSB to the Human Rights Tribunal. We will not stop there. If necessary, we will go all the way up to the Supreme Court of Canada. Furthermore, this will evolve into a political party that will gain strength across the length and breadth of Canada to such an extent that we will define the political theater of this country. We will bring about a political...
What are Canadian values? You want to tell us? Shut up! We don't know what they are, so shut up!
We will bring about a political environment that is conducive to our values.
That's why I asked her.
We will bring about a political environment that is conducive to our values.
Yes.
And what is our value? Simple. Canadian. We are first. Our Facebook group is KROOPS. You will hear more from us. Please tune into this website. We tweet at United Canucks. Thank you so much.
No religion! No religion!
In the school!
No religion!
In the school!
No religion!
Public school!
No religion!
Public school!
No religion!
Thank you. Appreciate your research.
Thank you all for coming. I love you for this.
I wanted to let you all know that we've got to the
United Canucks.
Peel District
follow us.
School Board is officially on notice
That's our
with
Twitter
me
handle. United Canucks.
demanding that people go find hate speech within the schools, and I'm going to give them $1,000 of my own money when they do. It's making Jen McDougall and Tony Fontes panic so much so that they have now told all the principals in Peel District high schools to tell their students they're not allowed to go to my YouTube channel or my website or even speak to the press on their own private time. How is that? We're making sure that we've got our I don't think it's working, folks. Hold on.
The battery's down.
Hello. We'll try this one. One more. Hello. There we go. We got it. So Janet McDougall, Tony Fontes have made it clear that they are afraid of all of us.
Thank you.
They're
definitely connect.
Thanks for your support.
not to engage
I will definitely
with
connect
any
because my
media.
battery is very low.
The
Data
only
is
real
off.
media here, Dave Menzies and the Rebel. So you all know that I am not going to stop this. I'm adding videos every day to my channel where I expose everything about the Peel District School Board. I am challenging them to sue me because if they do, guess what I get to do? I get to question them on the stand for days at a time because I will never settle out of court. I want to make sure that if they are going to tell me I'm defaming them, that they can actually prove it, but they're going to have to do so under oath in a court of law, and we know they're not going to do that. They're going to hide as far away from all of us as they possibly can. Now, this might seem a bit cheesy, but I will tell you all that I intend to run for mayor next year of Mississauga. My first order of business is to make sure that we say the Lord's Prayer in City Hall, and that everybody who wants to say their own prayer can do so too. It's either we all say them or no one says them, and I'm totally okay with that. All right? Thank you very much.
All or nothing.
All or nothing. This is Canada.
I want to say one last thing before Kevin is done. There is a great example that we all need to study, a case. Yesterday, in fact, Kevin made the news all over Canada, all right, with one simple video. We have the Rebel over here, but we have you. You are your own narrative.
The people.
We need you to go door to door and inform the constituents of our rogue MPs and MPPs what is going on with our government, because they don't know. They're being censored by the disinformation apparatus. So support your own narrative, support Kevin, support the Rebel, but be your own narrative. Learn how to make videos, post them to websites, talk to your neighbors. You have 99% more power than the disinformation apparatus does. So just keep at it and don't quit, ever. And thank you again for all coming out. This was a great rally. Thank you for the organizers. Thank you to Kevin. Thank you to these two fine organizations that are getting it together. But most of all, thank you parents who brought your little ones out to learn democracy in a rally.
Stay patriotic! We talk about Islam, 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 religious accommodation. That's it. I want that to end. I want us to go back to being a country where we talk about our own culture every day. And our culture is this. I know it's never been defined. I'm going to define it now. That we are a strong country. That we are a country that whenever the world has called on us to do something right, we've done our best to do it. We didn't always get it right, but we certainly tried. Canadians have always been welcoming. Please come to our country. Enjoy the same fruits that we've enjoyed. Clean grass, clean water. You can drink clean water out of any public toilet in this country, anywhere. And it's cleaner than what 80% of the planet gets to drink from a river or their own sewer systems. You understand?
Dog, I'm not going to drink out of no
Let's talk about that. But you understand my point. It's clean here. It's safe here. We've built an incredible country here. And now we have a prime minister who's giving it away. But for no good reason. What's the end game? What is the goal when Canadians are divided and not unified? I'll tell you what it is. Violence in the streets. That's what it is. civil war. That's what it is. There will be enclaves in this country of people who are just Canadians, just white, just brown, just black, just Muslim, just Christian. That's not what Canada is. I do not want enclaves here. I do not want separation here. I want a unified country. I want to make sure that everybody in this country has exactly the same rights that I had, and their children have the opportunity to have the amazing childhood that I had. I'm not asking that much, am I? No. So my throat is done, folks. I'll stay and answer questions, and I love you all for coming. Stay patriotic.
Hi again. So you're here today because you do not like the idea of religion in the schools, right? Religion in public schools, no religion, only sports and education. Right. I mean, if they want to have their own school for religion and whatever else, that's fine. But in public taxpayer-paid schools, we don't want religion, all right? So I'm just going to ask you to talk for a minute again.
So I'm representing the concerned parents of Canada here today. Our only request to the leaders and to the authorities and to the school board is we want no religion and religious practices in the school. School is a designated area for education, for learning science, art, technology, and history and social sciences, not religion. And religion has its own place in the privacy of home or places of worship.
Sir, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I think schools are not experts in any religion, right? So I think it's not good to have any religion, for that matter, practicing in the schools, right? We have various organizations or like mosques, churches, gurudwaras, temples, where religion will be taught properly, right? So let's keep the religion out of the public schools altogether, right?
I agree. One point I never heard anybody make is that a lot of people say, well, okay, it's religions, and, you know, if people want to pray to their faith in the school, why are we against that? Well, I'll tell you one reason, because if you allow one religion, then other people who say they have a faith and they have the right to pray in school and have a prayer space made for them in school, that will become an issue. And then you'll have people like Satanists and Luciferians. They'll come in and say, well, we want our space. We want our time and place to pray. We've got to draw a line somewhere, and the line is public schools, no religion, right? Easy enough.
It's easy enough. It's like, only education in the schools, because that's common to all the kids. Religion is not common to all the kids, and that's why we have designated places outside of schools. So I really don't know how this got into the schools at the first place, right?
Apparently 20 years ago, 20 years ago, it was allowed, and I didn't hear about it back then. My daughters were going through the system at that time. I heard nothing about it. I would have raised a stink back then. Now they're out of the school, so it's not an issue for me, but I can see all these parents that it is an issue for.
Soon have your grandchildren going in there.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So the thing is, actually, we are here for Canadian values. We are here for equality. We don't want segregation of kids. We don't want any kind of reverse discrimination and favoritism to one sect or one religion, right?
My thing is that if you do that, like some people think it's being kind to do that, but what you're really doing is it's an injustice to all the other faiths. And that's an injustice. You can never have peace. If there's no justice, you can never have peace.
This thing about if we need to see the bigger picture. And we always need to ask the question, what if everybody starts doing it? Now, what if all the other 100 religious people who have their children in the public schools asking for the same accommodation? Would they be able to manage it? What would that turn the schools into? Would it be an education house anywhere? And that's what I kept saying. Let's flip the situation, half glass empty, half glass full. What if I now go and say I want a rock concert in my temple or in my gurudwara or in my church or in my mosque or a soccer game there? Would it be allowed? No. It's designated for religious practices. Places of worship is designated for religious practices. Same way, schools are designated for education. Keep it like that. Keep it pure and clean. Don't discriminate. Don't discriminate and segregate our children at such a tender and impressionable age.
I agree 100%, and it just complicates things too much. You know, like if you try to accommodate all these other faiths as well as Islam, it's just going to get crazy. So let's just not accommodate any of them in public schools. If they want to have a school that teaches their kids religion, then you pay for a private school. But in public, taxpayer-paid schools, no religion. Fair enough.
Yes, I'm a president of United Christian Federation Canada. We are working for the persecuted peoples and against the discrimination. Today we are here against schools, what they are doing here, and especially the Linda Joffrey. She is going to bring the Islamic law in the school, and only one community they are giving permission to say their prayer. What about the other communities? And they remove the Lord's Prayer. Okay, Christians kept quiet. If it's a decision of the people, we accepted it. But why she is bringing this Muslim prayer in the school? This is a big discrimination, and they are going to destroy this country. They are not faithful, and especially the Linda Joffrey and the Trudeau and their other fellow, they are not faithful to our country. This country is there's a freedom in this country, and we want to keep this freedom in this country. And we request all the denominations, all the sects to be one and having the same goal. Freedom in this country, we need a freedom of speech in this country, not a discrimination, not a Islamic law. As we are from Pakistan, we know what is happening in Pakistan. Due to the blasphemy law, the thousands people are being suffering. Thousands of girls are being raped and forcefully converted to Islam. Only this law is being misused. And this law will be misused here in Canada. And this will be the worst country, even worse than Pakistan. So I request everybody, please come and be against this country and kick out this Trudeau. And we want a change in this government. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here and protecting Canada. Thank you. So why are you here today?
Well, I'm just here covering this. I'm with Humber College Journalism, but I think generally there should be a separation between education and religion, for sure. I don't think one religion should be accommodated over another, and I think that's wrong if you choose to accommodate, for example, Muslim over other religions in our school system. That's not cool.
I think I certainly agree with you. I think a lot of people do. The fact that the Muslims are required to pray 5 times a day, and a couple of those periods fall within the school hours, is that something that we should be concerned about in public schools, or is it not even our concern?
I don't think it's something we should be concerned about. Like, if they want to pray and stuff, like, I think it should be done in the privacy of their own home or in their own, like a mosque or something. It shouldn't be done in a public forum such as a school.
Certainly, if we were running a business and you got an assembly line, for example, and a Muslim wants to take off and pray in the middle of the workday, as a boss, I'm not going to allow that. I don't care what their religion is. They want to get paid. They're going to have to do what the boss wants, and the boss is the taxpayer in this situation. So yeah, I agree that no religion in schools.
Why are you here today, sir? Yeah, I'm protesting against religion in public schools, and also protesting against our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who wants to want to implement Sharia law in this country. Canada, same thing that Barack Obama did in the United States. And as a Canadian citizen, I cannot allow this to happen. And as a patriot, I should stand up and I should fight back. And as you see, I have my Make Canada Great Again hat, and I have my Trump T-shirt, Make America Great Again. Trump. And you can see everybody likes Trump. See, everybody thinks Canadians don't like Trump. You got actually a lot of Canadians, right, who do like Trump. Some of them, they do, but they don't have their voices heard. So, and, we should speak up more often. We should not allow this to happen. The more we allow this to happen, the more we just stand by and do nothing about it, the more it's going to continue. And who knows, we will not see Canada in a couple of years. And besides, they're going to bring migrants, illegal migrants into Canada, millions of them. All right, there's mostly men, most of them
fighting age men,
economic migrants. They have only a little tiny bit of women and children. All right? Don't let the media fool you. All right? That's total BS. Most of them are fighting age male economic migrants. You know, they're going to come here. They want to implement Sharia law, and they want to commit terrorism. They're doing this in the name of jihad. You know, they don't want to assimilate. They don't want to, and they want to, well, and you got the Peel District School Board. They want to implement the Islamic religion. And they want to start, and yet the kids are going to start learning this religion. They're going to force the kids to learn the religion of Islam. Next thing you know, they're committing terrorist acts. They're endangering the welfare of all Canadians. And you might not see Canadians, you might not see Canada in a couple of years if we continue to allow this to happen. And I implore people to read the Quran. You know, there's a lot of things that's pretty disturbing about it. And I don't know why the public schools will allow this religion being taught to kids.
Men and women, they treat women like second-class citizens, and we got rid of that in Canada 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago.
Yeah, and now they want to have a separate prayer for the man and separate prayer for the women. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, you live in a free country. You know, we're all equal here. You know, there's no separation though. If they want to do that, practice it in your own homes. Don't bring that into schools. And shame on the Peel District School Board for bringing this into the public schools. Shame on them. Right? The kids should be only learning English, math, science, geography, history, and a trade course. Right? Not the religion of Islam.
Well said. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
This is actually someone who's seen my channel, so we're going to interview him for a bit. Why are you here today, sir?
I'm here to actually protest the presence of religion in schools, in public schools.
Okay. Now, the first question, somebody who doesn't see why we're out here, they'd say, well, they've been doing it for 20 years, or 17 years, apparently the Muslims have had the privilege of having a room in the school set aside for them to pray. What do you think about that?
Well, I think maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time to just take religion out of schools, where stories are starting to come out now of segregation and things like that, and it's just not right.
I agree. I was trying to dig for you to say something like, so we made a mistake 17 years ago. It doesn't mean we have to perpetuate the mistake by continuing to do it.
Oh, exactly. You know, there's no reason. Times have changed, and times have changed in such a big way. You know, people are becoming radicalized and things like that, and there's very little control over this. I mean, what do we want here? Do we want Sweden?
Certainly I don't. I mean, Sweden's a lovely country. I've never been there, but from what I'm seeing in the media, Sweden and Germany are experiencing some severe problems. And the mainstream media is not really talking about it, but if you dig on the internet, you can find these are real riots going on, all kinds of problems and segregation and rapes and all kinds of terrible stuff. So, okay, so how about M103? How do you feel about M103?
Now, that's kind of a sore subject for a lot of people. I think most of Canada hates M103. In fact, if Ikra Khalid doesn't appreciate the freedoms my grandfathers fought for, she can go back home to Pakistan. I sincerely mean that because, you know what? Freedom is something we all love to enjoy. Absolutely. Yeah. And if Trudeau, you know what I have to say, and I've been telling people this, Justin Trudeau, you can ride your father's canoe back to Cuba with the rest of your communist dictators because we love our freedom here. You're not a Canadian, Justin Trudeau. You're a communist dictator.
He is behaving in ways that that don't seem to indicate that he loves Canada. I mean, it's hard to imagine that's true. His dad having been one of the most popular prime ministers ever, and but boy, he's doing things that do not seem to be for the common good of Canada's future, and it's starting to really worry a lot of people. Sure. So, sir, why are you here today? It's in regards to the march for keeping religion out of the schools, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I think it was a great movement. It was, a lot of people coming together. There's an extremely big concern among parents, and rightfully so. I don't think a lot of people realize it, but since the Second World War, they've been using institutions such as the UN to bring cultural Marxism in through the various institutions. And our municipal, provincial, and federal governments have essentially been legislating UN policy, which is not something we want. It undermines our individual rights and freedoms, and they're creating a sort of, radical left-wing collective that doesn't represent our democracy and sovereignty, with the ultimate objective of indoctrinating our youth through the students, which is the main tenet of communism. and that's exactly what's happening. Is we're being disenfranchised. Many of the students feel compelled to join and support Islamic causes, and this is where the indoctrination starts manifesting. But it's so much bigger than that, and I don't think that the average Jack and Jill understand it. But the mere fact that we had such a great turnout today, is certainly illustrating the point that people are concerned and they're ready to get up off their couches and get out on the street and make their concerns known.
And it's like the Christians and the Jews and the Hindus, they're not allowed to have their own room. So it's unfair, and I'm glad to see people out here protesting it.
Well, you mentioned one thing that's important. I think this is an important argument. When you go back and look at the most productive governments throughout Canada's 150-year history, you will find that the governments that promoted social conservatism and fiscal conservatism, as well as civil libertarianism, were the most productive, they were the most popular, and they were in power the longest. And I think that hopefully the political compass is moving back more to this populist movement. As the leader of an Ontario provincial party and putting together a federal party, we definitely are promoting more of a populist movement. I kind of don't even want to be labeled as a conservative, because conservatives, in effect, have been co-opted by the same cultural Marxists that the liberals have devolved into as well. Yeah, so we've got communism on both sides of the political spectrum. Certainly the conservatives don't ascribe to it as deeply as the liberals do, but the fact of the matter is they do too. They've been forfeiting our sovereignty to the various institutions and globalizations, be it the IMF, the World Bank, BIS, World Trade Organization, of course the UN, and this is not really something that is a Canadian democracy. This is where we're forfeiting our rights and privileges to non-elected, non-democratic institutions, and Canadians are the ones that need to be the stakeholders in terms of looking after Canada, not adopting the policies that are coming down from non-elected and non-democratic institutions.
So dangerous to have these unelected leaders telling countries what to do. It's not just Canada; it's other countries around the world that it's like unelected gatekeepers telling us what to do and who to bring into our country, what laws to allow. It's crazy. We have to stop it. So this is why people are out here, and this is why I'm glad to see you and others out here today.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm Arthur Smitherman. I'm the leader of the Canadian Constituents Party. You can get a hold of us at www.constituents.online. Our memberships are free for a limited time. I'm working with Brad Salzberg of the Cultural Action Party in BC. We're building a federal party, and I'm going to be patching the Ontario party over to the Cultural Action Party as well. But we've got some interesting things going along. We promote some things that are in the best interests of Canadians, and we certainly invite your listenership and your members to drop in and say hello to us by all means.
The trial would be very interesting. Anyway, so if you're not doing anything on the 13th of April, you want to be there. It's going to be very interesting. Your name again was? Eric Brazeau.
Brazeau.
Yeah.
And you have a website?
Go to Le Brazeau. Le Brazeau, I have a website and I have a Facebook page, but it's not as Eric Brazeau, it's as Le Brazeau. Lebrazau. The court date, or the court trial, the hearing will be on the 13th of April on University Street.